He stood nervously outside her building, clutching a bouquet of fresh flowers. His palms were sweaty, his heart raced with hope. Today, he thought, might finally be the day she said yes. But when she opened the door, her eyes narrowed. Instead of warmth, there was disgust. She stepped back as if the flowers were an insult rather than a gesture of love. I don't want this," she said sharply. Her words cut deeper than a knife. His hand trembled as he lowered the bouquet. He forced a faint smile, but inside, his heart was breaking. Slowly, he turned and walked away, shoulders slumped, each step heavier than the last. That evening, he sat alone in his small apartment. On the table lay an open pizza box, his old escape whenever life went wrong. He lifted a slice halfway to his mouth, but something inside him stopped. He stared at the greasy cheese, the familiar comfort, and felt a wave of emptiness. Then, in a quiet act of defiance against his pain, he closed the box, walked outside, and handed it to a homeless man on the corner. The man's grateful smile lit up the night more than any comfort food ever could. The next morning, instead of his usual junk food, he made himself a bowl of salad. The first bite tasted strange, but it also tasted like change. Days later, he pushed himself even further, lacing up an old pair of sneakers and stepping outside to jog for the first time. His lungs burned. His legs felt like lead. He stumbled and fell hard onto the pavement. For a moment, he just wanted to give up. But then, a shadow fell over him. A woman jogger stopped, extended her hand, and said with a kind smile, "Come on, you've got this." That moment changed everything. She became his running partner. Every time he slowed down, she urged him on. Every time he doubted himself, she reminded him why he had started. Their runs turned into workouts at the gym. Workouts turned into a lifestyle. Slowly, his body transformed. He shed not just weight, but also the pain and insecurity he had carried for years. Months later, the man who once hid behind pizza boxes and broken hearts now stood tall. Healthier, confident, and full of life. The woman who had once stopped to help him now held his hand, not just on runs, but in life. She had become his partner, his love, his cheerleader. One sunny afternoon, they walked together through the city streets. And there she was, the woman who had once rejected him so harshly. She glanced at him, eyes widening in shock at how different he looked. He didn't stop. He didn't gloat. He didn't even speak. He simply smiled and walked past, holding the hand of the woman who truly saw his worth. Because rejection isn't the end. Sometimes, it's the beginning of a better story.